where it goes down, where you hear about the sports all around town. In the country, full of controversy to the highlights. You just not safe in the limelight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another great episode of The Stoop, where we talk hoops, and more hoops. We got a great one, but first, got to introduce myself. I'm TJ. Let me shout out my partner in crime, my co-host, my boy, Kev P. Talk to the people, bro.
As always, pleasure to be here.
Listen, hey, Kev, this one is monumental because we have another young lady stopping by The Stoop, and we don't get too many. We want more to come by, but this one right here is special because it's like family. Listen, she goes by the name Torch. Organization started back in the 1940s. She's a part of only one of the 16th that's been in history. She's a Guinness Book of World Record holder. She's fast. She's quick on her feet. She's a multi-sport athlete, and she's stopping by The Stoop today. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Cherelle George. So nice for you to come by The Stoop today, girl. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. And just to correct you, the Globetrotters been around since 1926, so 95 years. And to be a part of this organization has been amazing.
26? So did they officially become an organization in like 47 with Abe Saperstein? So when they really start?
Yeah, 26.
It was 26?
Yeah, 90. We going on 95 years. That's amazing.
Well, shout out my guy Abe Saperstein. No, that's my man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I actually did it. I did a book report in 5th grade on the Harlem Globetrotters. That's how I remember the name Abe Saperstein and knowing the whole organization. And my grandfather, I actually have an original 1968 Meadowlark Lemon and Curly Neal Tops basketball card. So anyway, let's get this interview, man. So nice to have you out here today. Let's ask this first question. Who was the first person to put a ball in your hand?
My mother. 1988. I was 4 years old. Christmas morning, I woke up to a Fisher-Price hoop and a basketball, and the rest is history. I fell in love with the game of basketball, and I felt like it was my calling. Like I was dribbling all over the place, and it was just like it was God's gift. Like I was so good at it naturally, just handling the basketball, putting it in the hoop at such a young age. So I've been playing for 30 years. 35 years. Yeah.
Don't tell nobody that. You look amazing, though. That's good to know.
Appreciate that.
So when did you realize that you were something special and unique? Around what age did you say, maybe I could do this and take this to the next level?
I think in middle school, growing up in Reading, Pennsylvania, I look forward to playing against certain girls. And what my mother would do, I would be in 4th grade playing against 7th graders and holding my own and excelling. So she was like, man, I'm putting her up against girls that are 3 years older than her. And she's still doing her thing. So I think my mom realized in 6th grade that, listen, my daughter's got a talent. I need to move her out of Reading, Pennsylvania, move her to Georgia for a better opportunity. Once I moved to Georgia, it was just like my career literally took off. 7th grade, 8th grade, I won state titles, averaging 30 points a game in middle school. So when I got to high school, automatically on varsity. I've never played JV, never played freshman. I was straight to varsity in 9th grade. Always MVP on my team. My senior year, I was named McDonald's All-American, which was a huge honor considering,
Yes.
that class in 2003 was Candace Parker. These girls are still in the WNBA now. So to get that, to be nominated for that was huge. So, but I would say in middle school, my mother knew, and I knew that, man, I was starting to separate myself from girls that were my age and even a little bit older than me.
I'm not going to even put no pressure on you. Would you say yes or no? Are you Reading tough? That's all I want to know.
I'm Reading tough. I'm Reading built. Like, even though I moved in 6th grade, I was Reading built. And I was actually so hurt because I was looking forward to playing with girls like Rashida Suber. We was in 6th grade, and we was talking about, 7th grade, we about to dominate at Northwestern. So when my mama told me that we were moving to Georgia my 7th grade year, I was so hurt. And I remember telling Rashida, like, I'm out. And she was like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine what we would have did at Reading High together. It would have been crazy.
I remember the wars I used to play with her older brother, Greg.
Greg.
Yeah,
Greg.
Yeah, so. All right, Kev, what's up? Talk to us. See what's up.
Listen, you had a lot of accomplishments, McDonald's All-American, never playing in JV or freshman, just slaughtering everybody along the way. However, your life changed the day you met Keith Arnold. Tell us about that.
So listen, I met Keith Arnold I want to say 2017. I had moved from Georgia after my mom passed in 2010. And I was going through some thyroid issues that had me out of basketball for 4 years. I was battling it naturally, trying to self-heal myself from that disease. So what I decided to do, I started coaching recreational and Key Biscayne. It's a private island. I think LeBron James actually lived there when he played for the Heat. And I was doing so well coaching that a few parents approached me and said, you need to start your own team. Forget getting paid to be a recreational coach. You need to be your own coach and start your own team. So I started my own team. It eventually, I started coaching 5 teams. I had over 50, 100 players. I entered them into a weekend tournament in South Florida. And in between games, I would just go to an open court, dribble the ball, start shooting, just trying to kill time until my team played in the next game. Not knowing that Keith Arnold was a former Harlem Globetrotter referee and was taking notice to me to the side. He's like, man, you can handle that basketball. Like, that's crazy. You ever thought about being a Harlem Globetrotter? And of course, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Never thought about being a Globetrotter. I don't know how to do any tricks. Like, he was like, listen, you can learn the tricks later. Like, you can ball. And that's the most important thing. So we spoke a little bit. He asked me if I had any film on YouTube. I was like, absolutely. So I sent it to the scout. They called me the same day and told me they would fly me out to Atlanta for a tryout audition. And the rest is history. I came back to Atlanta and the CEO just told us to play. There was 4 other young ladies, 5 other men. They teamed us up and we just played. And I went back to my N1 hot sauce, Allen Iverson, street ball. And the rest is history. They loved it.
So your N1 hot sauce, Allen Iverson street ball play, flashy style, which is obviously perfect for the Globetrotters. But early on, you took a bunch of criticism for that style of play. While you played for Iowa Western, you were benched a little bit for it, and they asked you to alter your style of play. Reluctantly, you did so, but obviously it paid dividends. How difficult was it for you to feel like you weren't being true to you, and how important was it to your growth and learning to accept sound advice from somebody?
Yeah, my freshman year at Iowa Western was probably the toughest year I've had in my basketball career. I thought about quitting the game because my coach is so hard on me. He wouldn't play me because of my style of play, which was frustrating for me because that's all I knew. But to him, he was kind of like old school. In his eyes, it was like 2 points or just 2 points. I don't need you to throw it in the air, catch it, do a reverse to get 2 points. Just keep it basic. And I knew if I wanted to, keep that scholarship and just grow, you know what I mean? Because I knew at the Division I level, there was going to be more coaches like him that had that same mentality. So I just had to find a balance between street ball and fundamentally sound basketball. So once they came together, it was great. I mean, I was averaging 25 points per game, broke, 10 records at Iowa Western single and team records, was inducted to the Hall of Fame last year. So obviously it paid off.
Dope. You joined, as TJ said earlier, an elite group of young ladies that play for the Harlem Globetrotters. However, you're the only one that holds a world record with Guinness. 32, I guess they call it between the leg turnaround dribbles. Tumble dribbles. There you go. In 1 minute. Congrats on that, first of all. What made you decide to go for that particular record? And do you aspire to either beat it or go for a different one?
So what's crazy about that record and what makes that record so special is because I did that record in Glenside Projects, just watching N1, watching Hot Sauce, AO.
Shout out G-Side. Shout out G-Side.
Yeah, shout out to Glenside.
Shout out G-Side.
I had been doing that move for years. And so when I joined the Globetrotters, I know Guinness World Record. They have Guinness World Record Day every year. Actually, it was yesterday, November 18th. And I noticed no females had any records. So I was like, listen, I went to our team, was like, listen, I want to attempt a record. And I'm not even sure if it has a category, but I've been doing this move for a while. I think it's different. He took it. I had to do a video showing him what the move was. He sent it to Guinness World Records. They say, absolutely, we love it. This is different. And so they came back and said, well, she's at least got to get 30 in 60 seconds for us to give her the record. And I got 32. So that right there, that day, I will never, 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 never forget because that's something I took from the hood and made history with it. So it'll always be special to me. So, oh yeah, and absolutely. Maybe next year I think about trying to beat that record. And I wish they wouldn't make that record a female category. They just need to make that a general neutral category, because I don't know too many men that could even beat that record, let alone female. So Guinness need to just make that just a record. Don't make that, because right now it's a female record. But I look to break that record and hopefully get more records. You know, what's better than one Guinness World Record, right? 2, 3, 4. So
Yeah.
Man.
So check this out, Cherelle. Let me ask you this. And I mean, like I said, coming from where we come from, people don't realize like we worked on our handles. I don't care like whether you was G side, Northwest, Windsor Ritter, Bear Park, go down the list of where you was hooping at in the hood, you worked on your handle. But for all our viewers and everybody listening, what was that one thing that you was in the gym when nobody was around that you worked on to help make your game extra special?
Handles, absolutely. My ball handling every single day. And also creating separation. Like I knew, I mean, my father's 5'6", my mother's probably 5'6" as well. I knew I wasn't going to be tall. So every day I work on my game, and my mother will work on my game about just learning how to create separation, making that move and creating separation, and just working on my quickness. My first step was very important for me, because if I couldn't create my own shot, I was pretty much useless out there on the basketball court. So that's what I would work on every single day, was my ball handling ability. No doubt about it.
Okay. There was a couple of people I used to watch from where we grew up at that I used to watch, but is anybody like anywhere around the world that you used to watch and try to model and pattern your game after?
Allen Iverson.
AI.
Aside from my mother, Allen Iverson was my hero, because he was undersized, but he played with so much heart, and his ability, the illusion of him making you think he was going one way to rock you and go another way. I was just in awe, man. And being that he played for the Sixers, Pennsylvania, you know what I mean? Philly. He was like my hero. And I would just study his just the way he would move with the ball, without the ball, and just his passion for the game. And he played with so much heart. Like, he really put Philly on his back. So if it's anybody that I used to mimic my game after, or I say I would want to be like, would be Allen Iverson. I mean, hands down.
Got you. What's up, Kev?
While you played for the Harlem Globetrotters, one game in particular, you got white hot. Hit 6 straight 4-point shots. And for those of y'all out there that do not know, that's a 30-foot shot. That's about 6 feet further than the NBA shot. Talk about being in that zone for me.
You know what's crazy about that night in California when I hit 6 4-point shots, 30 feet from the basket?
In a row.
In a row, yes. Leading up to that game, because that's important, in a row. Leading up to that game, I wasn't getting a lot of 4-point shots because it is such a tough shot. And the last thing you want to do is airball a 4-point shot. Regardless if the audience understands it's a tough shot or not. It's a tough shot for the men, let alone a woman. And you got to think, we're playing with a men's ball. I have small hands. So I would practice that. And just that night, I was just feeling it. You know, I wasn't getting that many, because if you don't hit them, coach ain't going to give them to you. It's not coming to you. So I hit one, hit the second one. Crowd went crazy. Hit the third one. I was smelling myself at that point. I said, it don't even matter if I don't. It don't even matter if I don't make no more. I made 3 in a row. Get it back again, 4 in a row. Oh, man. So I take off my headband. I'm throwing my headband. I'm just, people don't understand, when you make 4-point shots that far from the basket, it's an out-of-body experience once you make 3 or 4. So when I hit that 5th one, I was just like, yo, I want to go for 10, you know? So when I hit that 6th one, the crowd just went crazy. If you can hear in the audio, no way, she's insane. So that was a special moment for me as well, because there's been no female that has hit 6 4-point shots in a row. I've hit 4 in a row before. I've hit 5 in a row. I mean, but never hit 6 in a row since then. That was my rookie year. So I think that's what helped me get rookie of the year, that game alone.
You did an interview prior to your first season in Purdue. Let me see how good your memory is. Where you expressed a passion to coach. You're able to do that, obviously, as we discussed, and then some with JP Hoops. Any desire to return to that, and when you're no longer with the Globetrotters?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to become my dream job besides being an entrepreneur. I mean, I just got that entrepreneur spirit. I would love to be able to be a big time Division I basketball coach. So once I retire from being a Globetrotter, absolutely, I want to get into coaching because I have a deep passion and I feel like I have so much left to give back to the game. And I inspire the next generation of women, that are coming behind me, to help them with the game and all the lessons and hardships that I learned from the game and pass that along.
Outstanding.
Hey, Cherelle, right now we got a major thing going on with a global pandemic. Do you think the unity that the Globetrotters brings to family and people just getting out, what would that mean to some people to lift their spirits after going through this for almost a complete year when everybody's just cooped up inside and there's not a lot of communication back and forth? What could the Trotters being out in those gyms right now and bringing that energy to families do for the spirit of the people right now?
Mm-hmm. Like, man, the Globetrotters, the game of basketball is so universal. We touch lives through not just on the basketball court though. We're in hospitals. We're in elementary schools. We bring so much joy to so many people, so many countries. I mean, when we go to Spain, Lithuania, they don't even speak the language, but they have such a good time. And these people come back generation after generation. You hear grandparents bringing their grandkids because for 2.5 hours, you can forget about all your worries, all your sorrows. And that's why it's so unfortunate right now during this pandemic that we're not out there because we spread so much joy and love worldwide. So for me, I can't wait till we get back out there next year. I really can't.
Just a quick sidebar, how they talk to y'all about, is it going to be definitely after the pandemic? Have they told y'all what y'all need to be doing? And, what's the outlook for y'all?
So right now it's looking like early next year. Okay. So if things, I've heard up north, I don't know, they were talking about having another lockdown, which I'm praying like doesn't happen. But if all goes well and the numbers stay down, hopefully next year. I mean, we've talked about, starting our 2021 tour at the beginning of next year. So, which would be my 4th year. So I'm excited about my 4th year.
Absolutely.
How have you been able to, if at all, stay in rhythm and in shape doing what you need to do to be able to compete?
Mm-hmm. So aside from just being at the YMCA, because everything's open here in Georgia, so I get to go to the YMCA for free, just the perks of being a Globetrotter. You get into places free, right? So I'm able to get into the local gym, but I've been playing flag football and I've been loving it. We've been traveling. We just got back from North Carolina, just playing in different leagues, different tournaments. Nationals is in Orlando, Florida in January. So we've been practicing 2-3 times a week. So that's how I'm able to stay in shape. And of course, vegan diet has helped me just keep my body tip-top shape.
Okay.
So
knowing the lineage, and you corrected me, and I appreciate you, girl, for the legacy of the Harlem Globetrotters and when they started. Got to brush up on my history out here, Kev. Okay. But anyway, knowing what that brings and what that means from everybody, like from yesteryear, and just so many great players, some that have been pros and some who've not been pros. Are there any prolific Globetrotters that stand out to you? And is there any prolific or historic Globetrotters that you have the opportunity to meet, talk to, and what knowledge did they kick to you that you can, take with you and that you've been using now that you are a Trotter?
Yeah, absolutely. I would have to begin with Lynette Woodard. She paved the way for me and all the female Globetrotters that have come after her. In 1985, she made history with the Globetrotters. And honestly, if it wasn't for her, who's to say I would be here, or any future female Globetrotters. So huge shout out to Lynette Woodard. I had the opportunity to meet her my rookie year in North Carolina. I believe it was North Carolina. And she just told me, listen, she was amazed by my ball hand ability. And she said, keep that smile, keep working hard, stay humble. And then obviously Curly Neal. When people even compare me to Curly Neal, his ball handling ability and his ability to grab the crowd, he anywhere we go, people say Curly Neal, Meadowlark Lemon, right? They're the top two. So
absolutely, to
even be mentioned in that conversation when people see me dribble with Curly Neal has just been amazing. I didn't get the opportunity to meet Curly before he passed here. which is unfortunate because he was one of those Globetrotters that I look forward to meeting. So those two probably stand out the most. But we have so many amazing Globetrotters. I mean, Showman Big Easy, Highlight. I mean, we have so many that are just super talented. Like, I'm a fan of all of them because they're so unique and they bring different things to our game.
Definitely. Go ahead, Kev.
We all know about your basketball skills. That's a given. That's obviously why you're here. But many would be surprised to know that you are a two-sport star. Going by the name of Harlem, playing flag football, you're a member of, and you didn't mention this, but back-to-back Atlanta Women's League champs. My question to you is, because I know I spent a lot of time doing it, and I recognize it when I see it. Do you play a lot of street football when you were a kid? Because you even in and out of those, like dodging cars, like I'm looking at it like, yeah, she definitely.
You know what's crazy? I've only been playing football for 2 years. I never played as a child. Never. Really? And it was crazy because my dad was a football player at Reading High.
Okay.
And so I would hear stories about him playing, but we were really never close up until, I became an adult. But I've only been playing 2 years. And so I just think like when you're an athlete, you're an athlete. When you play basketball, it's easy to transition from basketball to footwork. I'm already quick. So now it's just that ability to catch and just go. Hit them with you know what I mean? Last year was my first year playing here in Atlanta. I got Rookie of the Year. This year I got Offensive MVP for the playoffs. And like you said, we're back-to-back Atlanta League champs. We're number 1 in the nation going into nationals in January. And I'm having a ball. I'm having an absolute ball. So not only is flag football keeping me in shape, I've gained a new family. These girls in Atlanta here, they love it. And just like I love the game of basketball, they're passionate about the game of football. So I'm new to the game, but trying to get better. Now they trying to get me to play tackle football, but I'm like, listen, you got to pay me. I'm not doing tackle for free.
Yeah.
I'll do flag for free, but I'm not doing tackle for free. No way.
Right. You've accomplished quite a bit in your life. I know how important your mom, Holly, was to you, and she's watching and cheerleading all the way, I'm sure. With all that you've done, both on and off the court, what would you say she's probably most proud of?
Man, probably that I'm living what she spoke when I was a kid. Just every day I wake up feeling tremendously blessed, playing the game that I love. Honestly, I think being a part of the Globetrotters, having my own Guinness World Record, but most importantly, just being happy and at the age that I'm going to be 36 next week. So just being healthy and playing the game, in her honor. Every day I think about my mom. And, sometimes I get sad because it's like, man, the sacrifices that she made for me to be where I am now, I can't even enjoy them with her now. But that's also the motivation to make sure she's happy, because even though she's not here in the physical, she's definitely here in the spiritual. And I think she'd be proud of all of it. I mean, I've traveled to 33 countries in 2 years. So that alone, coming from Glenside Projects, from Glenside, I've met Popes, I've met Venus Williams, I've met J-Lo, I've taught Kevin Hart how to be a Globetrotter. I'm hanging out with tennis stars. I'm on Ryan and Kelly Live. I'm from Glenside. I'm just a kid from Reading. So I think she'd be proud of all of it. I can't pinpoint one thing. I think she's smiling down saying, live your life. Live your life.
Girl, don't get me emotional in here. Don't do that. Listen, when you come across that bridge and you know anything about that pagoda, it's special. You do something that I'm proud of you. You don't hear nothing else from me. Thank you for lifting our city up and pushing the movement forward from where we come from. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
You got a nickname. You go by the name Torch. For all of our listeners and viewers, tell them where the nickname came from.
So they give you the nickname. I don't get the opportunity to create the nickname. They give you nickname, and obviously I light it up. I'm a spark plug. Once I entered the game and they introduced me as Torch, that energy changed. It changes. And so I'm proud of it. Torch number 10. 10 is a special number for me. It's crazy. When I got that number, I was like, this is meant to be. because I won my first championship in 7th grade with the number 10. You know, all great things happen with the number 10. So Torch 10, it's a legacy, and, you know, great things still to come with the Globetrotters and that number and that name.
You're absolutely right. My birthday is April 10th. So you're right, girl. Live that legacy. I appreciate
There
it.
you go.
And since we talk about the number 10, first of all, we want to thank you for being on the Stoop today. You dropped so much information about who you are and how much sports and things that you have accomplished, and, you know, just how not only you pushing just no matter gender lines, but you're just pushing sports forward and doing some great things. And you're a world record holder in your Hall of Fame. But you know what I love about you, and this one thing your uncle said, you're great, but you're also very humble. And I appreciate that. And keep that up. Definitely, definitely. So let's talk about the 10 real fast before we get up out of here. What's the name 10 of the best handles that you've seen all time?
Ooh, all time?
All time. 10 best handles. Any sport, any era. We just talking basketball. Street,
Basketball.
professional, global.
Okay.
I don't care if it's a dude from around the way.
Oh, we got a couple of those too. We got a couple of...
Obviously, I'm going to say Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving. Handles. Let me see. I'm a point guard lover, so I'm gonna say. I don't know if he's so much handles, but he was such a good point guard. I mean, Steve Nash.
Okay.
Jason Williams.
You talking about White Chocolate?
What?
His birthday yesterday. Shout out White Chocolate. Happy birthday. 45.
Listen, he. Oh my God. I just recently did something with hot sauce. We did a charity game together. His handles are sick. I mean, he does stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I'm not guarding you, yo. You're not about to. We could be on the same team. So I would have to say
That's 5.
hot sauce. So that's 5.
You got 5 more, yep.
I'm putting Derrick Rose in there. I like Derrick Rose handles, his explosiveness. Tell me if I'm missing anybody. Throw hints, y'all. I mean, that's 6.
Nah, this your list. Ain't no hint.
Let me see. Now this might throw y'all for a surprise. This is a female, Nikki Teasley, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Ivy Lotta, North Carolina.
Ivy Lotta used to get busy at Carolina.
Yeah, they up there. Who else? I'm trying to think. There's one more WNBA player that I know I'm missing that just got handles.
Oh, coach, South Carolina.
Oh, Dawn. Yo, yeah, let me get at the Dawn. Dawn
used to get busy.
I mean, to finish it off top 10.
She got 2 more, right, Kev? She got 2 more.
I got 2 more or 1 more?
I got 1 left.
Oh, she got 1 left. All right.
Left. I'm gonna give it to my girl Rashida Suber. She's tough. I don't care.
I've seen Sheeta. Shout out to Sheeta, the whole super fan. I seen Sheeta make grown men fall.
Nice.
I seen Sheeta make grown men fall.
Yo, I gotta listen. Number 10 gotta go to the home team. Yo,
she's special.
Yeah, she's special. She's special. Yeah, she should have been in the league. But you know, the league's so political.
It is.
But she should have been in the league, you know. But when you go to a low D1, sometimes, you know, things are different now. Yeah. Things are different now. You can go to anywhere now and make it because of social media. But back then, it wasn't like that. You had to go to a top 25 D1 to get that respect. But Rashida was different.
She was different.
She's different. Yeah.
Well, this has been great for me. I appreciate the memory lane, girl. Like I said, I appreciate all the jewels that you've spoken to about us. On behalf of myself and Kev P and the whole everybody who's behind the Stoop, we want to say thank you and we wishing you all the best once this pandemic goes away, that you get back to it and doing the thing that you love. All right?
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Miss Cherelle George, my man Kev P. I'm TJ. It's been another great episode of The Stoop. We'll see y'all soon. Take care.
Some say that it gets no real on the field or the court. We capture the thrillers. Some opinions and all of the truth. Real people talking real sports on The Stoop.